Good morning. Today I would like to talk about the film Shaka Zulu from the 1980s and its implications for the politics of the SADC region. But before I go into that, I will start from the beginning when Senzangakona meets Nandi. Senzangakona is coming back from the hunt and he has Amabutsu with him who are high-spirited from the victory of the hunt, and Nandi is seen with other women drawing water. And this brings to me a question of, can you say that you are courting someone when you are coming with an army when they are defenseless women just fetching water for their families? So it might be a case of intimidation, but of course in Zululand it has been romanticized as something that is good, when in actual fact it might have happened in the wrong way, where one party was overpowered militarily by another party. Of course, Senzangakona marries other women, and Dingane is born out of one of those marriages to be King Shaga's brother, and they are born, according to the film, in a very short period of time. Dingane is shown at night to the king, and King Shaka is shown during the day to the king. Now, the plot thickens when Senzangakona now appears to kill his father Jama on his deathbed. And also, when he is king, Senzangakona kills Mgazi for helping Nandi and Shaka to escape the wrath of Senzangakona. And later on, he kills Gendeane through his impis who was chasing Shaka, but because Gendeane refused to give any information about Shaka and his whereabouts to the Zulu impis. Shaka himself was basically, of course, trained at home when he was still in Senzangakona's household, but then trained militarily by Gendeane. And then when he moved to the Mtetwa Empire, he was already a soldier, and that's why he was quickly promoted to the position of general leader of the regiments. This happened in the Mtetwa Paramountcy or the Mtetwa Empire, where he rised up the ranks very quickly because of his ingenious. Even the generals there were very happy with him, even though some were happy with his courage and with his ingenuity in war, and they trusted him with all their lives. And one of the biggest stories in the history of Shaka is when he conquers Zwide, army led by General Nomahlanjana. That is the biggest defeat that the Ndwandwe suffers. But of course, the Ndwandwe do not die without trying. With their blonde hair, they continue attacking King Shaka and his group of mercenaries, white people who had a machine gun or who had a cannon which could kill many people at once. I guess I will just have to stop this for now. But then now looking at the implications now for the SADC region. So there are so many wars that were fought, and so there are many bitternesses of the past because of King Shaka's wars, Matiwane, Bungane, and many other kings were dispersed by Shaka during his reign of terror, building Zulu, the nation of Amazulu. So now when people are dispersed in the whole region of SADC because of all those, that creates a problem of relations now in SADC, because people might still have a consciousness of what happened to them when they were dispossessed of their lands, dispossessed of their cattle, and basically being fed to the wilderness. Thank you very much.